Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the lab. Everybody get your pen and your pad. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We got a fantastic, spectacular show ahead of us. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to learn a bunch of things. And I already got the vibe from these two gentlemen that are currently backstage. I know it's going to be a good show, so you're going to want to tune in. We're going to have it, like I said, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Welcome to the lab. Get your pen and your pad. This is the show where we highlight people with businesses, products, or positive messages. So if you've got a business, product, or positive message, before we totally do the revamp of the show, because like I said, the revamp is coming. It's right around the corner. Inbox me, text me, get a hold of me, let me know. We will get you. I haven't scheduled October yet, but we will start filling slots for October so we can get you on the show, so we can highlight your business, product, or positive message. All right. We've been having fun. We've been having a tremendous year. I hope everybody's been staying safe. I hope everybody's been tuning in and tag liking and sharing. If you want that shout out when you come into the studio, place your name and where you're from in the comments section, and Coach Cleve will give you that shout out that you're looking for. I know things changed up a bit. People are looking for the energy levels. I haven't asked for energy levels in a little while, and we're kind of changing things up. We're modernizing the show a little bit. So, but if you do want to put your energy level in there, put that in the comment section too. This isn't going to be an interactive live, so keep your questions coming in, and we will answer them accordingly. Okay. I am your host. I am Coach Cleve. I am your content creator, your book publisher, your favorite baker's favorite baker, podcast host, and March 4ther. And I'm glad that you guys are here. And we got a bunch of things going on. You guys see the website scrolling below. We are currently live on LinkedIn. We're currently live on Facebook under Coach Clee and Clark Tent. We're currently live on YouTube. So if you haven't liked or subscribed to those pages, please do so as soon as possible. Do it right now. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in. Also, make sure you guys tune in, subscribe to those pages. Like I said, the website's scrolling below. And if you want to make a donation, to the proceeds go straight to the show so we can bring you guys better quality show. Cash App's right there scrolling below as well. Website, first and foremost, let me get these things on right here so I can see the old man's coming out of me. The website, on the website, you'll see workwithclee.com. It's my website. It's the website where I first wrote this first book, March 4th, like I stated before. It's a motivational empowerment book on helping you find your own breakthrough. We talk about toxic people, toxic situations. We talk about going to get your breakthrough. Very proud of this book. It's the first book I wrote. The second book, Herb Thompson, Clarence Stokes, Jason Brown, and myself, No Shade, All Light. 25 of our favorite quotes and what they mean to us. So it's over 100 quotes in this book with meaning. You can use it as a devotional. This book, the third book I wrote, came out in June during the pandemic, and it's perfect. It's a pocket-sized book. It's very small. It's very beautiful inside. It's got nice little Shayla. This is her favorite because she was the backbone in this project right here. However, Les Brown says it best, and I can sum it up by saying one of his quotes. Holding on to a grudge like holding on to a hot piece of coal, expecting the person that you're angry with to feel the effects, when sometimes you just need to let that thing go and start the healing process. And this book is a guide for that. That's on the website too. And last and definitely not least, the book that came out this year, The Lab. And we've been in the lab like everyone. These are 44 guests out of, I don't know, how many guests have we had? Over 100 so far? I forget the number. 44 brave souls decided to tell their story in this book, okay? So we had a chapter for each of them. And this came out in June. People who've been in the lab who talked about their business, product, or positive message, that's on the website as well. And we're currently working on the lab part 2. So if you want to be a sponsor in the lab part 2, we can get your business and website in the lab. If you've been on the show and you want to be in the lab part 2, inbox me, text me, get a hold of me. We will definitely make that happen, and we will get you your slot on the show. All right. Got to talk about one-way publishing. Some of you do know, some of you don't. We have our own publishing company. We pride ourselves in saying, if you've ever had a thought in your head, we can complete that thought in your head to a finished product like similar to what you've just seen before. Okay, so we can bring a thought to a book that's bought. All right, and we pride ourselves with that. One Way Publishing is the publishing company, and we have a lot of fun doing it. Shayla, are you still there backstage? She is backstage, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, we're going to get ready for Shayla's showcase, but I would be wrong if I did not shout her out again. I know some of you guys saw it last week, and actually her birthday was yesterday, so we got to go ahead and give Shayla, who is the backbone of the lab, her due shout out. So stay tuned, please. Watch, and I hope you enjoy.
All right. Thank you. As I've already said, Coach Clee, I'm glad I was a little bit more prepared for that video this time. Last week, I was not at all prepared for that. So thanks again. That video was great. Definitely becoming an expert with creating those videos. So I definitely do appreciate it. But I want to move into Shayla's showcase to shout out our sponsors for the show. And to highlight a few businesses. So I will start off first with, we have the Harrisburg Area YMCA that offers, the Camp Curtin location. They offer a variety of youth programs for before and after school and also during the summer. In addition, they have a variety of organized sports to include basketball, lacrosse, and other things as well. They also have a new offering or a new program that they're working on, which is Cornerstone. It is a program to help build new homes within the Harrisburg area, the city community, and taking those blighted, those vacant properties and really turning them into homes for new individuals to be homeowners. For more information about that program and everything else that the YMCA is offering, make sure you check them out at ymcaharrisburg.org. Then moving on, we have Flavor 76. They are offering a variety of different lunch and dinner specials weekly. You can check them out on Facebook. They also have catering opportunities. I believe on some Saturdays, they are also at a local market as well, selling all of their delicious meals. So make sure you check them out and follow them on Facebook at Flavor 76. I'd like to give a shout out to Jay Moore for all of his help with our website, making sure we keep everything up to date and making sure the website is looking amazing. I will always thank him every single week because I appreciate him taking that work off my plate that I was doing. And then last but not least, just a shout out to Coach Clee for an amazing birthday. Thank you for everything. I appreciate it, including that video. You definitely made me feel special yesterday. So thank you so much. And I will turn it over to you, I believe.
Yep, that's fine. Yep, you're absolutely welcome. You did a tremendous job, and I'm glad you enjoyed your birthday. And we were back in the lab, and we're telling everybody to get their pen and their pad because we're still at it. We're still doing it. We're still bringing positivity. We're still energizing people and highlighting businesses, products, or positive messages. And so, with that being said, Shayla, do you want to do the next part?
Yes, I totally, as soon as I said I'm turning it back over to you, I totally forgot. So I'm really excited to be able to introduce the next individuals that are going to be showcased this evening. I actually had the pleasure of meeting them. Honestly, I was going to say by accident, but I don't think anything happens on an accident. I think there's purpose behind it. And obviously they're here today, but I was stopping in to pick up a catered meal. And ran into two gentlemen, and they are of R&T Catering. And so I'm excited for them to be a part of the show and the guests today. But we are picking up meals. We were supposed to have an in-person event turned into kind of a drive-through based on where we are with COVID. And so we got to try, we had fried chicken, we had baked chicken, we had mac and cheese, we had really good cornbread. And I want to say green beans, but I forget the vegetable, to be honest, but everything was amazing. So just shout out to them for providing that meal to us as part of that drive-through event to pick up our meals. So I will turn it over to Coach Clee and let him bring on R&T Catering.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you. And we have him backstage. We are going to bring him out. Make sure you guys tune in. We're about to have a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you see them on the screen in front of you. We got R&T caterers right here, and their food is dynamic based on what I haven't had the samples yet. And we've already been talking backstage on, a little event that is forthcoming. You guys know that Coach Clee, your favorite baker, has been in competition with other people who've done some culinary arts. And we've already kind of put our title belts out there saying, who's going to win this competition. So I lead off by saying I can't wait to see these guys on the battlefield of culinary art perfection. But realistically, we are going to have a lot of fun as that happens and as we perform this live. Yes, fellas, who wants to go first? Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Can I start off by just saying you and Miss Shayla are great together? I just want to say that. Like that video, beautiful. I'm over here crying myself. You know what I mean? I'm crying myself. Pick up some things from you, player. All right now.
Told you, brownie points, brownie points.
That's what I need.
When she said we met for a reason, like it was on purpose, nothing is an accident. Okay. We were supposed to be on this show today. How you doing, Coach Clee? You all right?
Praise God.
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm excited to have you both here. I'm
Yes, sir.
excited for all this energy coming through. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I am the R of R&Ts. My name is Ron.
I'm Taheen. I'm the T of R&Ts.
And what we've been in action for about just over a year. We just had our 1 year anniversary. Maybe last Tuesday, I believe. And it's been fun. It's really been fun. Just like the everyday picking up and learning off of each other and bouncing out the different what he's good at, what I'm good at, what he's not good at, and coming together and make sure we stay on the same page. It's been a journey, but it's definitely been fun.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. Yeah, so like he said, this has been fun. It's definitely been something to where this business is taking you to a whole different level. You know, it's a whole different level of what business is, getting your mind out of being an employee and being into that business quadrant.
Right.
You know, so shout out Robert Kawasaki for teaching me that.
Yep.
Yeah, yes, sir. So it's definitely been a great experience, and we have more years to come. We're not even done yet.
Oh, sir.
We haven't peaked yet. We didn't peak yet.
I believe it, man. You guys are relatively young, and you guys said you just celebrated your 1 year anniversary, which is great. And that means you got many more on the horizon. A lot of things will be adjusted. A lot of things you got so many wonderful things to look for. But tell us a little bit about how you guys came into existence.
You want to take that one?
All right, cool. So in middle school, I knew of him. So that's how it came. I knew of him, and we had like a little interaction once before. And then 10th grade, I went to Dauphin County Technical School, and he transferred over there, and I was like, "Yo, man, I remember you." And he was like, "Do I know you?" And I was like, "Oh, that's okay." So, so that's how we're gonna start this off.
Played you a little bit, huh?
Played me a little bit, right?
Hold on.
Right in front of company too.
Listen. I don't like to be grand, but you know when people you see somebody out and they be like, "Hey, bro, how you doing?" I'm not one of those people who just call everybody bro. So when he was like, "I know you," I'm like, "Okay."
You're like, all right, yeah, whatever.
right in front of people in the hallway, huh? That's what we're gonna do this. But no, ever since then we've been clicked up. We had summertime together. You know, he called my mom. I call his pops. We became relatively close. You know, he's like a brother to me. He's really A1. So definitely, if I need anything, I know I can call on him. But that's how we came together, though.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We both did culinary arts at Dauphin County Tech. And that's really where the dream got conjured up. Working together under first Chef Robert Biddle, and then finishing up with Chef Claire Dacco. But yeah, just working with each other in that sense, we kind of got a feel of what a partnership would be like if we were to do this. And we kind of backburnered it because we did throw it out there as like we should do it, but it got backburnered because I went to college, I went to culinary school. He went straight into the workforce where he could learn different things and I can learn different things. And then when we finally did come back together for this, it was like, okay, 1 and 1 can definitely make this 2 happen. So it was a journey that made sense in the long run. If you asked us 3 years ago if we were going to do this, couldn't even answer that.
I would have said no. Ain't doing it with him.
Yeah, especially after you missed you before in the hallway, try to act like he ain't know you. So it almost.
I'm not grand though. I'm not.
But I see Kia's on. Thank you for tuning in. See Essence Jane is on. Thank you for tuning in. Karima's on also. She says, congratulations, guys. That's on the Coach Clee page. I see Justin Coleman and Marcus Hayward's on. Thank you guys for tuning in. Keep your comments and questions flowing. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in because we're still having fun. We're talking about how they came into existence with their R&T's catering. What kind of foods do you guys specialize in?
Southern hospitality with a twist to it.
Okay.
We're not regular.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Yes, and that's what, just like you were saying. So you guys have that twist on your foods where people were having to go plates that didn't even make it to their car.
They didn't even make it out the dough. Okay, sit right in front of us, just chowing down.
We can pull up the messages. We ain't lying. Oh no, but yeah, that's Southern hospitality with a twist. For example, have you ever heard of lemon pound cake, chicken and waffles?
Wow.
Exactly. So that's you know. So we went.
You know what, Coach Clee? I like you.
I gotta say this. This is probably wrong.
Not ready, man.
I can't do a show about food when I didn't eat before the show, and then you guys are gonna just start throwing stuff out there, right?
We'll leave it at that.
We don't gotta say no more.
I ain't saying nothing else.
Yeah. Sample sounds good. So how many events have you guys done? And I know we're kind of in the middle of COVID, may have stymied a few things, but during the events, do you guys have sold out or have completely ran out of food? Has anyone? I'm assuming people have left. Licking their lips and got the itis where they're falling asleep in a chair and things like that. How successful have you guys been at events?
In this year, we've taken maybe about 10 different contracted engagements.
Okay.
We do like a monthly pop-up thing where people come and they just chop it up with us a couple minutes, wait on the food if they have to. Yeah, I'll say about 10.
Yeah. I think that sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah, we take on a few like community events. We're going to do one soon that he was just talking to me about a little earlier today. But
so we definitely have always up and coming things as well. So you know, with the pandemic and people are still trying to figure out if they want to do in-person things and not want to do in-person things. So that's what we're in the middle of. And I think when we started this in the pandemic, I think it's a blessing that we still coming out of it and we're still making it, succeeding and moving forward in this. You know, I think that's the biggest takeaway.
I agree because during the pandemic it was difficult because everyone was trying to find a new way of life and adjusting to a new thing. And like you guys, and we'll discuss also, I know you guys talked about you guys starting your podcast like the February before the world shut down and not knowing that was perfect timing because honestly, you start off something brand new, you're already in the valley. But when people didn't have anything else better to do, things like this took off because they were sitting around the house bored. There's only so many shows you can watch. There's only so much alcohol you can drink. There's only so many trips around the block that you can do before you start getting bored. And so people are tuning in to engagements and during that, I mean, I can almost 100% say that you guys catapulted because of opportunity just on timing itself.
Yeah, I mean, I literally tell people everywhere that I go that I'm probably the most appreciative person of this pandemic because so many things were birthed from this. Like you could have looked at it and said, I ain't got nothing to do, just stuck in the house looking at this same person 24/7. Or you could take that time that you've been given and put fire to them wheels and get going with something. Like God gave us gifts for a reason, not to sit on.
See, and what's funny is about the pandemic when it happened, I was talking to people and I was like, this is just like any other crisis throughout U.S. history. Anytime a crisis happened, there's always been great things that came out of this, you know, the housing market crash or in the 40s, you know, with the stock market crash and things or like the Great Recession and things like that. Great things always came out of setbacks, you know, and I'm talking about that. And then I'm like, wait, I got my own business in the pandemic. And now, you know, what we're doing in Harrisburg at that and two Black young men doing at the same time is just, it's different, man. And the fact that we're able to do this, that's God right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. Something's going on back. Yeah, we don't know what just happened, but we're just gonna keep moving. I got technical difficulty here, Shayla. Yeah, come do your thing. But still, I know like you said, the Great Depression itself, a lot of people, their lives crashed, their way of life changed. But if you read a couple books on it, which I had before the pandemic hit, a lot there you don't hear about the stories of people who started businesses or changed. They were working at one occupation and that their business folded and they totally went into business for themselves and started doing something great themselves, and they came out millionaires, and they don't highlight those stories. So we're going through something very similar where the world shuts down and the way of life that you knew before isn't the same, and you can either try and stay the same and stay stagnant, and stagnant water always tracks mosquitoes, and mosquitoes are bloodsuckers. So or you can change, get out your comfort zone, repurpose your life, and come out even better. And actually, what happens to a bow and arrow? You pull the arrow back, you got to get set back, but when it releases, it goes that much further and that much faster, and that's exactly what you guys are doing.
That's a great analogy. I love that.
Yeah, that was fire.
Yeah. See, so when I borrow your phrase, you can borrow my analogy, and we'll be
You know what?
Nah, I still need.
You gotta pay us for that one.
Come on now. Come on now.
Wow.
Profits.
We'll see about that. But tell us about your podcast as well.
Oh, it's called. I'm sorry. It's called Let's Talk About It. It's Tahim, myself, and 4 other brothers that we have. It started off as like a small mentoring thing for young Black men.
Okay.
And then it kind of spiraled into for all young Black people. We talk about many different things from wealth to health to making sure you don't get in your own way. We talk about relationship stuff. We talk about sports sometimes. We get into literally everything.
The relationships are the ones that have like the most views. Relationships, anything dealing with Black is the most views. You know, everybody go head for head. What you mean, girls can't? I'm like, oh, I ain't saying that.
I'm laughing when you said relationships because again, backstage we were talking about Kevin Samuels and how you guys are split down the middle on his ideology and his the way he delivers his message. Yeah.
You know,
I'm sorry.
He's good. I can listen to him, but he just got to clean it up sometimes. Like I don't like the way he talks to him. That's it.
I like the hardness of how it is, because being raised single mother is what I got, you know, because she had to play mom and pops, you know. So I'm more of a cut to the point, straight kind of guy. I don't like anything to be sugarcoated. So when I hear that from other people, I get the respect from it, and I tune in more because I don't like anything to be sugarcoated myself. I don't like to do that. I don't want to reciprocate it back to me. So when I'm hearing this, and for me, you know, everybody gets it different. For me, I'm like, oh wow, this is definitely a new way of thinking. I never thought about it like that. I didn't cut straight draw like that, you know. So that's for me, you know. That's how.
I get it. I know. My father died when I was 2 years old, so I was raised by a single mother as well, and so I do understand a lot of things that I put me in there. I didn't know that I was missing out on until you start hearing some of the monologues that he has and his delivery. I know I said it backstage as well. Someone who has cancer or some sort of disease or something that's life-threatening, I mean, they don't want a sugar-coated pill that's going to make them feel good. They want the harsh treatment that's going to have them heal up great. So you go through that chemo or whatever that harsh treatment is. You don't want it, but it's necessary so you can go through the process of healing. And that's what I think. I think that's how his delivery is. It's not wanted the way he delivers it, but it's necessary.
I can agree to that.
Yes, sir.
But not to get too sidetracked off the whole deal. What's your guys' vision for R&T Catering within the next, let's say, for the end of the year and going into next year and next 3 to 5 years?
End of the year. So we have a couple of events we want to do. So just to be able to finish this year and see that we got through this, I think that's the main goal, and just do more events, more pop-ups, more things that people invite us to, actually more community things, just to get outside of Harrisburg. But you know, the main goal is to first take over Harrisburg. I want R&T to be known to where people conversate. Like, you ever had R&T? Oh yeah, girl, I definitely have R&T. You know, so I definitely want that to be the main priority, that we can take over Harrisburg, but then we can also be able to branch out to go other places inside of PA. So that's the main goal for the end of this year. Next year, we think next year.
Next year we definitely want to start getting back to our community in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to give people food. People always got to eat, but
Mm-hmm.
as two young Black men to reach the community that are the generation that's coming behind us
Mm-hmm.
in a way that they're not seeing right now, that's definitely something I think we both want to get to, not just with Ron and Tahim, but having that R&T's name out there as well. So you have people that you can look up to. You have pillars in your community that show you that you don't have to do things this way.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it this way as well and still get where you're trying to go. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just to piggyback off of what he said with just finishing out this year, I think a lot of people when they first started their business in the pandemic year, they were looking at it as like a clean or easier start, where the next year would be like seeing if you really got it or not. And I feel like that's what this year, this second year for us is more about,
Mm-hmm.
just making sure that we really have this thing going and we know how to take care of what we got going.
And definitely establishing more connections as well, because that phrase is not what you know, it's who you know. That got us where we are right now. You know, doing the UPMC catering, then talking to Miss Shayla and she connecting us to you. You know, that got us there. And before going to UPMC, you know, me going to a breakfast club with Mr. Leland. Shout out Mr. Leland. He has it at
Yes,
a Black coffee shop. You know, shout out to that gentleman as well. You
Good
know, brought
brothers.
us there. And then Miss Tina walking in the same time that I'm talking about my catering business, and she's saying, "Oh, I need a caterer." You know, so all those goes to, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So it's definitely getting more people, building relationships, expanding our brand, because we're not just R&T, we are a brand. You know, we have visions for having a school. We want to teach people how to cook, especially, you know, everybody needs to know how to cook, you know. So it's not just a one gender thing no more, you know. And just how expansive culinary is, you know, is definitely a creative, experimental, and emotional type thing, you know. So it goes from, you can see in peach cobbler as just a dessert to, oh, somebody made peach cobbler egg rolls. You're like, wait, what? How'd you transform that into an Asian thing? So are we messing you up, man? Because
we still messing with you.
I apologize, man.
Because I think
cool.
That's what I think it was. That's what I think it was. But
you can finish.
but yeah, but definitely expanding, and definitely, because this is what we're doing right now is not for us. It's for people that's coming up behind us, our kids and their kids. You know, legacy in the Black community. We don't have that. I think in the US for legacy, things being passed down is either 1% or less than 1% when we talk about legacy. You know, so I don't want none of my kids, his kids, to be in that rat race anymore. We need to have our own business, know what it is to run a business successfully, and be our own.
Shayla's being funny right now.
I saw that comment and I was like, hold on.
When you said peach cobbler egg roll, my stomach was like, raw. Like, man, yeah, we can't. Let's not discuss food. I know we're talking about food, but we got to tone it down a little bit. You know,
I apologize.
we got to keep it rated G, not PG and PG. We got to keep it rated G because we're gonna end this early, and I'm gonna have to go get something to eat. But you're absolutely right though about legacy, because so many of us are born and have to start. Each generation, it seems like it has to start over. We start at ground zero and we have to build, as opposed to what I'm trying to do as well is build a legacy for my sons as well, so they don't have to start at ground zero. They can start where I just stand on my shoulders and take it from there. Whether they want to do this or whether they want to do something else, at least give them a stepping stone so they can go ahead and start building their brand and fulfilling their process and building their legacy as well.
Right. That's one of the things that we talked about on our podcast a little while ago is how so many times we bring up generational curses and how that gets held against us and pulling us back and whatnot, but we never get to generational wealth. How do we get there? So,
yep. So, and you guys are touching base on a lot of wonderful topics as well. I see Tony's on. Thank you for tuning in, Tony. I was just talking about you behind the stage too, so I'm glad you're on. But How do you guys stand out from the crowd? What makes what makes you guys is your company, your LLC, your brand, your catering? What makes you stand out, especially being up and comers, newcomers in the game, and you're already you came in during the perfect time, like you stated. How are you branded differently?
I would say just our drive and our willingness. But I think everybody would say their drive and their willingness is what makes them stand out. But
Hmm.
I think it's our sacrifices as well. You know, two jobs he has. Me a full time job. If I'm not that full time job, I'm doing this business. You know, this
Hmm.
business is our baby. You know, we have to raise that. So it's doing that. It's experimenting. I'm a foodie. I take foodie trips. I go to Philadelphia. I go to
Okay.
Baltimore. You know, so I go to New York. So I just go on foodie tours to see what's out there, what's new, because culinary is always expanding.
Hmm.
It's always different. So it's
Hmm.
not about standing in one place. You know, people as human beings, we like to be in a familiar place. We don't like to go out, you know. And when you do go out, you get people like, oh, I don't know if you should go over there, you know. So it's about expanding and about always being on the wave and always changing, you know.
Hmm.
So never standing still. You know, that's what makes us different, is that we're always looking for something new, looking for how to be better. You know, us being black, being young, you know, doing what we got to do, no kids, you know, a lot of things. People look at us like, excuse me, you got no kids at your age, you know, so that's caused a lot of people to be like, excuse me. So it's
Hmm.
definitely a lot of things that we have going on. So I think that is one of the things of how that keeps us, you know,
Yeah,
going.
yeah. Piggybacking, um, what he got into kind of with the idea of trends, without even knowing, people will always flow into the next trend. So
Hmm.
that's something where he takes his trips and he goes and finds what people like, what people are gravitating to, and so we can take that back and we can say, okay, so they like this, but how can we make that ours
Mm-hmm.
so that
Hmm.
we can flip that and then bring them back to us? And the other thing I think that we take more hints to than what other people do is just that, the people. We take the time to build relationships. We take the time
Hmm.
to talk to people. Like when people are getting to food and clothing and things like that, they see their product, they figure out how they got to get that product out there, and that's it. They don't
Hmm.
take the time to actually talk to the consumer that's buying their stuff. So if you actually take the time, you're gonna see why that's selling.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna
Hmm.
see what makes them keep coming back for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's the trending and just taking the time to actually be one with the people. That's what makes us different.
Got you. Good answer. Good answer. I like that. I like that. And staying current and flowing with the trends are always positive, positive things. They positive things, and you're going to stay out in front of people and keep their attention. Have you partnered officially with anyone or in any collaborations? I should say with any other companies, any other people, any other events, or are you looking to partner with anyone?
Our first event that we had last year in October, um, my cousin actually, he does desserts. So he used to have his own catering company. He does desserts now. So he gave us some cupcakes. You know, we partnered with him for that one event. But I believe like any people that do dessert, I think we would love to partner with that. When I was at the business and baseball event, I was speaking to a young lady, and
Mhm.
she was talking about, because she says her family does Spanish food, and she would like to have Spanish food and black food together, you know, at an event. So, but I think,
Like,
yeah, like yeah, but
Man, the thought just hurt my stomach right now, man. That sounds good, though, and that's a good idea. All jokes aside.
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't think about that when she brought that up. So I was like, yeah, that'll be different.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we're also working with establishing some relationships with some clothier type people to see how we can try to get the R&T's brand pushed out on some apparel, uh,
Hmm.
and desserts, venues, any things like that, that we can get our hands on. Or
Hmm.
like I said, you got to get with the people, and networking is probably our number one thing that we always try to hone in on. So
Hmm.
Hmm. Okay. And let's say someone's watching the live right now on one of the different platforms that we're on, or let's say they're watching the replay a few days from now, and they're impressed, and they're like, I got to get these guys to my event. I need this event catered. I want to listen to their podcast, or I just want to learn a little bit more about them. How would they be able to get in contact with you guys?
We have a few different lines of communication. We both have personal cell phones. We both have business phones.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like I said, we also have the podcast. So Facebook, Instagram, you can find us on any of those via our personal links or on the podcast link. Um, or if you just see us on the street, really, we're both people who are very approachable, regardless of what he said at the
I was
beginning.
just about to say that.
Listen,
It was in front of company. Like I'm trying to
I will never turn down an opportunity to talk to a new person. That's just how I am. But yeah, we have many different lines of communication that you can reach out to us from.
Yep. So RNT Food 717 for Facebook, the same thing for Instagram as well. So you can definitely message us right through there. And then we have business cards, and we can definitely, anybody asks for our business number, we can definitely put that up there in the chat if anybody needs it as well.
There we go. There we go. And like you said, the RNT Food 717 is in the header right here. So you guys can definitely, that's a starting point right there. And I'm pretty sure they will gladly get back to you in a timely manner.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys gave me the foundation on how you guys met, and you guys talked about how the business came into existence. But what gives you the inspiration and the motivation to keep moving forward? As we're now, like we talked about, you're on year coming into year number 2, and you're looking to expand and get bigger. And I know you guys are working a bunch of hours every single day to the point where it can be exhausting. What gives you the motivation to get up and, like, as opposed to taking a break? And it's real easy to sit down and just want to kick back and put your feet up, but you got to keep moving. You want to keep marching forth. How do you keep doing that?
I would say, firstly, it's for the love of it all. If you don't love what you're doing, why are you even doing it?
Mm-hmm.
I think second thing would be this relationship partnership that we have here, because it started so young and we've seen how it matured over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of us wants to leave each other high and dry.
Right.
That's just because he said it. That's my brother. Like, I would literally go into battle any day, anytime for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes along with the business that we now consider our baby. We're not going to let this thing die. We're not going to let it go to the wayside. We're not going to back burner it for anything else. We're going to make sure this thing lives on past, far beyond us. He said something about legacy. That's something we want to leave for our children.
Right.
We want them to be able to, when they get of age, where firstly, we don't want to force anything on them. If they so decide that they want to cook, we will gladly show them the way.
My son is cooking.
We will gladly show them the way. But we want to leave this for them, even if they don't do the cooking side of it. They want to learn the business side of it. That's something they can take on as well. That I would say he more so is heavier on the cooking than I, because like I said, he went to the workforce straight out of high school, where I went to a culinary school. So I learned a little bit more of that, where he learned the ins and outs that I necessarily didn't get a chance to. So yeah, just leaving that legacy where if one wants to cook, one wants to do business, you can still both have this.
Right. And I always think another thing of motivation for me as well, from individual standpoint, is I think like just seeing some celebrities and just seeing how they're doing it. Because now with the social media, we have like the insight of how their lives are. So, you know, if you say Kevin Hart is the hardest working man in the industry, right? If he gets up at 4 or 5 in the morning, has the hour to work out, and then he says, I got a meeting, and then I have to do a TV shoot, and then I have to do a movie after that, and then I have to go write a book, and I have to go do a radio. And he's the same human being. He has the same 24 hours in a day that we have. I look at myself and I'm like, well, what stops me from doing what he's doing? You know, he may have more money, more people, more connections, but for that grind, for that to get up every day and do those different things, that's what we need to have. That's the intake that I need to have. Then I'll be able to reap those awards. But that grind time, the way he does, anybody can do that. We're all the same human being. We're all the same people. Everybody has a key to the same opportunity, you know? So that's definitely another thing of motivation for me as well.
I like that. I like that. Good point. Absolutely. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. You just have to be wise on how you use them. And time is the most valuable commodity that we have because once it's gone, it's gone.
Get that back.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
And just a bit, everyone knows I'm your favorite baker's favorite baker. And so my son, I said the same thing. It's always is. I never wanted to be a full time baker. I like to do it for fun. I like to do it yearly, just for events and things. I said the same thing. My son's going to bake. He's going to be a better baker than me. And I asked him, I said, you want to learn, you want to get in this kitchen and learn how to do the stuff that I got planted up here, and you can have this knowledge too? He said, yes. But really, he said, nah.
I get that.
When he found out, because I mean, everything comes out looking good, smelling good, and tasting good. But when you have to go through the process, it
Yes.
makes you appreciate it a little more. And
Yeah.
plus, I mean, I appreciate when, at least for me, and I'm pretty sure you guys do too, when people appreciate your finished product. But sometimes when you go through the middle of it, I don't even feel like eating it when I'm done. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's done good. You guys enjoy. It's a wrap.
Yeah. That's definitely, I definitely understand that feeling. I cooked a lot of times. People are like, you gonna eat? I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. Y'all, I want to see y'all happy. That's where my enjoyment comes in. I want to see you say, oh, what is this? Is there cayenne in here? Like, like little things like that, So
Everything gets garlic powder.
don't be giving away secrets now. Like,
Yeah.
Like
Hold on,
that's why everyone gets
Hotel.
into. That's why everyone gets into what they get into. That
Mhm.
look of satisfaction.
Yeah.
So I agree.
So let me ask you. Now that we're a little bit deeper into the conversation as well. Someone watching and they never heard of you. They're inspired by your energy. They want to taste your food. They hear about your different recipes that you guys put forward. They're a little younger. Let's just say they're a 10, 12-year-old boy. They're watching the replay and they're like, I want to be just like these dudes when I grow up. I want to be a culinary perfectionist. I want to own my own business. What kind of advice would you give to an up and comer?
Don't get embarrassed in front of company when you run into people. That's number one.
Hey, he ain't letting that go, is he? He's not letting that
You
go.
gonna let me live? All right.
No. Real advice. Believe in yourself. I think that is the number one thing. You can do anything when you believe in yourself. I don't know people. That's cliche. People say that all the time. But let me really break it down. If you don't take care of home, of self, you would not be able to take care of anything else outside of that. Broken pieces cannot fix broken pieces. It doesn't work like that. So I really would say believe in yourself. Whatever you want to do, study it. Like go out. If it's culinary, go out to different restaurants, try different things. Try things that's not of your palate. To see how they are. Read up on culinary. Watch culinary TV shows. Indulge in it. If you want to be a basketball player, basketball player, it's practice. It's watching your favorite player. You watching film over and over again. So it's whatever you want to do. That's you need to be doing that. Whatever free time you have, you need to do it. I know it's hard, and I know it takes away from a lot of other things, but the reward and the thing that you'll have coming in after that, it'd be priceless. So really study in what you want to do and really believe in yourself and what you want to do.
I like it.
I really appreciate that question just because uh, I often get asked, "What would you tell the younger version of yourself?" And whenever
Next question. Go ahead.
whenever I come across a young person, I work with kids now myself.
Okay.
So whenever I come across a young person, my heart automatically begins to glow because I see an opportunity to pour into that young person. And with a situation like this, my first question would be the why. Why do you want this? Like what's your motivation to get that? And the second thing would be I want to show you my path so that you can understand what type of things that you can go through on your way there. Because if you see this and you're like, I don't really want it no more, that's gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. So I'm a spoil you because you wanted to tell it. I'm gonna spoil it. One of the greatest people I've ever met, his coin quote was, "Going there can't tell been there how to get there." So watching someone's steps as they take that journey, and then you can see how they made it there. you can both have a better appreciation of it, and you can
Right.
take some pieces from that to say, okay, I understand. I want to do it now for
Right.
me, and we gonna make it happen. We gonna make it happen.
And just
Mhm.
to piggyback, when people ask, what you tell you, so I was actually thinking about that question when it came in. What would you tell your younger
Mhm.
self? And people always say, "Oh, do this, do that." But if I think about all the things I did as a kid, we did some dumb stuff. Like I'm gonna put it out there. You know,
That's
You did
true. We
though.
all have. Yeah.
all right, whatever. All
I
right.
ain't do nothing dumb.
But you know, the takeaway from that to say don't do that, I will probably be a different person. To say, hey, study more. If you're an straight A student, I probably would have had another occupation than what I have right now. You know, so I think everything that I went through was for a reason to where I'm at. But if it was really one thing, it would be what I said before. Believe in yourself even more. You know, pour more into yourself. There's nothing wrong with being selfish for yourself, you know, to believe yourself, because then you'll be able to pour into other people. But first, you kind of have to be selfish.
I like that. I agree with that 100%, because we're told to be more giving and sharing as opposed to being more selfish. And I think being selfish is, in the right context, is 100% absolutely necessary. Because if you were a vehicle, if you were a car, and cars run on gasoline, and you were driving from Harrisburg to Florida, of course you have to keep your gas tank full in order to get there. If you're driving people there and you don't stop and take a break or get filled up with gas, eventually you're going to run out of gas. And not only will you be stuck and broke down, everybody else will be too. So you're not being beneficial to anyone if you don't take care of yourself.
Mm. I like that analogy.
Yeah, yeah.
That was fire. I like that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Did you
Absolutely.
did you put that in one of your books? Because if you did, I'm gonna
It
take
might
that.
be. It might be. It might be a code in one. It might have been in this one,
Okay.
or it might have been in this one itself. You know,
Okay.
I'm not going to say because you
Oh,
might
no.
just have to read them for yourself.
The
All right.
one in your what's that? Your right hand, the
Right hand.
grudge. Yeah,
Yep.
I need that. I need that because when you was explaining it, I was like, yeah, that's gonna be my next read.
There you go. There you go. You know, Les Brown said it best. Let that thing go and free up your other hand so you got two hands of maneuver instead of just holding on to clasping on to something that you don't even need to clasp on, and you only got one hand to move. It's
Mm,
a healing process.
mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yep.
I like that.
I
Yes, sir.
like it. I like it. You guys talked about if you could talk to up and comers, and if you could go back and talk to you. Well, let me ask. Let's say we could build a time machine, and you guys can go back and talk to a younger version of yourself. You had an hour to sit at a table and speak to, let's say, the ninth or 10th grade version of you. What kind of advice would you give yourself if you could have that conversation? And you'd have to have it pretty quickly because an hour goes by just like that.
Just 1 hour?
Just 1 hour.
Ugh.
Dang, I don't.
Honestly, it would just be to be patient and make sure you get a full understanding of everything.
Hmm.
I think what a lot of people get messed up on when like you're presented with a promise and you see the end of the journey
Hmm.
before the beginning or the middle steps, you try to rush to it and you miss some things. So I think just that patience and making sure you execute everything that needs to be done properly.
Hmm.
Stay within yourself. Don't try to go outside of yourself, trying to please the mix, trying to fit into the crowds or anything like that. Just be yourself and take your time. That's what I would tell me.
Hmm. Surprisingly, the things that you thought were important back then aren't important at all.
At all. At
Mhm.
all.
If I was talking to my 10th grade self for an hour,
Hmm.
number one, I'll be like, hey, you need to go to the gym because this is not you. All right. That's number one. All right. But on a serious note, like what I tell myself
Stop being nasty.
at 10th grade, man, I don't know if I really tell myself anything because that was really like a turning point. At 10th grade year was really a turning point for us, and I discovered a lot of things. I was in pastry,
Hmm.
won scholarship money at the restaurant
Okay.
school in that hill, in Philadelphia, PA. So I don't think I really would tell. I would just say, yo, keep going. You're doing great. You know, once you unlock and once you know who you really are, yo, like the world is yours. But just be great. Just be you. You're already doing something special, man. And the world don't even know what you're about to become.
I like that. I like that as well. Once you figure out, Earl Nightingale says, once you become your self actualized person, you know which direction you want to go. You know how to get there, and you have a laser focus. And certain things aren't as important when you know where you want to go, and other things are very important. It's kind of
Right.
like another analogy where a ship, where the captain's at the helm and it's just wandering around aimlessly in the ocean, eventually it's going to hit land, whether it's a deserted island, whether it's another country or whatever. It's going to hit somewhere. It has to. But if you're just wandering, that's what you're just going from place to place and going to end up in a mess and you have no direction. However, the second ship that is guided by a captain who has a map and a destination in mind is going to have that quickest direction to where they want to go. They're going to look at the map. They're going to constantly be readjusting. Okay, we're off course a little bit. Let's reroute. We need to go that way. Okay,
Right.
this group of people want to hang out. They're not going the same direction that I want to go. I'll check you out next time. I got to keep moving that way. I got to keep moving forward or keep marching forth, like we like to say on this platform.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We had a bunch of wonderful good topics to talk about, but one I'm gonna give you guys as we're soon wrapping up, and we're not totally there yet. But is there a book or a person or a situation that has influenced you so drastically in a positive way that's changed the trajectory of your life? Whether you read that book or you had a conversation with someone, or you were just in a situation where like your life was going this way, and then that event happened, and it just you just took off in a different direction? And if so, could you share it with us?
Um, when I was in college, there was a time where um, I just I got to a point where I didn't care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Me being who I was, when I get to the point where I don't care, there's literally almost nothing you can say that can turn my mind. And so, one of my friends, when I was back in college, he sat me down and he was like, "I want this for you, but you gotta want it for yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta want it more." And I don't know. Sometimes it's just like those simplest words like that. It doesn't even take a whole poof, pow, and bang. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's just a simple 2, 3 word quote, and it'll click for you.
Mm-hmm.
And it did that for me. So to this day, degrees, businesses, making it happen for myself, getting my own cheese. But I have to stop and say I appreciate. His name was Elijah. I have to stop and appreciate Elijah for saying, "I want it, but you have to want it too."
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. That's a really great question. I'm over here still thinking about it because I've been through so many moments that was like a turning point, till you're trying to mature. So you get to one stage and you hit a turning point. But if I would say one thing that probably definitely put me on this path of where I'm at right now, was going into the business of Amway, doing that type things, so um,
Right.
having that right there, had a mentor, told me read books, I would listen to lectures,
Mm-hmm.
so I read the most books I probably read in a year. I probably never got through one book in a year, but when I got to that, read a couple books in 1 year, so doing that, seeing how business actually works, seeing what people actually draw to, and having that mindset of changing from, like I said in the back, from an employee to a business in that quadrant. Again, shout out Robert Kawasaki. But I think that right there was definitely that put me on a path of like seeing my eyes open up different and see how the world works. That we're not meant to be working our whole lives to get to our retirement age of 60, or what's about before our age, I think like 65, 70,
71.
71. You talking about money's gonna run out for our generation or something like that. But either way, getting to that age, and you're saying I have to work from 18 all the way to that year, and then you get to live your best life, if that's what they want to say. I don't think that's what that's meant for us, because this
Exactly.
country was built on business. So
Mm-hmm.
why should I have to be an employee? Why can I not be part of that business category. You know,
I think you can get your work permit at like 14, actually.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
all
even
that
14 is 65, 70, like 40 hours a week, huh? Overtime.
Some do 80 hours.
Some do 80 hours a week. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Getting that grind in, yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Through the course of conversation, and we talked about a lot of wonderful things. We got a lot of good information out there. Is there anything that I may have forgotten, or through the course of conversation, is there anything that has jogged your memory that you want to share with us right now? The floor is yours for that purpose. You can share with us.
You still hungry?
Oh, he did that. Yes, I am.
No. I just want to just throw it out there once again that we're both very approachable people. You ever have anything you want to talk about outside of food? We're both very approachable. We don't mind taking the time to sit down and talk to anyone about anything. But just an event that we're having very soon. We're having a family and friends day. We're not too sure locking them on a date just yet, but anyone who would like to come and interact with us, just sit down and chop it up for a little while. We can definitely give you an invite to that, and we have a good time together.
Yeah, free food, free event. Have games. We're gonna do a little R versus T games. We're gonna have in there. We brung BYOB. We brought that a new meaning. It's gonna be bring your own blanket.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Bring your own
Picnic style in the grass.
Yes,
Bring
sir.
your own blanket.
Okay.
But just to any closing things, I would say this is what we're doing right now. It's not hard to do. It's not out of your reach. To become a business person, it's not out of your reach. To be working for your own self is not out of reach. You know, it's meant for everybody. You don't have to work for nobody anymore. You know, and getting out of that rat race, it is hard because you're guaranteed a check every Friday or every other Friday. You're guaranteed that. So hopping off that and let your wings fly, this is the better apple tree right here, because you can have off whenever you want to. You can be on vacation, but like, you know what, I'm about to do another vacation. You can have that, and then you can have the role of being your own boss, and then incorporating what you feel as though a leader is. I've been under so many different companies and been under so many different managers and supervisors that I'm like, that is not how you lead, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Right. I'm like, if I ever get a chance to lead, I'm gonna do it this way, because when I found that person who was able to lead and I followed them, it made me be like, you know what, I can be just like you, because you're really showing me what a true leader is supposed to do. Truly supposed to lead from the front and be down with us, not lead in a carriage and be behind us. So that's what I would say for my closing.
Nice. You guys did a tremendous job, man. And I learned a lot, and I enjoyed having you guys here. I want you to stand by quick. Keep the comments coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Stand by. We got to give a shout out to another one of our sponsors. And maybe eventually, after you see this video, if you don't already know each other, hopefully you guys can one day meet, because you guys are in the same kind of atmosphere. And the collab that we were discussing before the program got started, I'll put it this way: Flavor 76. He was one of the guys who I challenged. We had our bake off, and unfortunately, he came in first place at that event. But it won't happen again. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, we got to give a shout out to our sponsors here.
New week, new meal with Flavor 76. This week we had chicken, fish, and potatoes. Make sure you follow them on Facebook at Flavor 76.
Flavor 76. Make sure you order yours today. Brought to you by One Way Publishing in the Lab. Tune in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. We're almost done, but we're not done yet, so stay tuned because it's still backstage, and I'm going to bring it back on camera here in a minute for any last-minute questions, any last-minute comments. But you guys are tuned into the lab, like I said right now, where we highlight people with business products and positive message. I put on to put on, and I say that to say this. If you've got a business or product or positive message and you're looking for a platform to get that information out on, inbox me, text me, get a hold of me, email me something. Let me know that you're looking for that shout out, that spot. We can get you, we'll schedule you a time. We'll bring you in the lab, tell everyone to get their pen and their pad, and we'll have a good time just like we did here today. Again, business, product, or positive message. Make sure you guys let me know sooner than later because slots fill up quick. And once they fill up, once they're gone, and hit it before the revamp happens. I want everyone to evolve so hard and fulfill your purpose. Keep grinding, keep growing. Make sure you tag, like, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned to the lab for future guests, but I'm bringing these guys back on right now. Here we go. Boom. Hey. You guys hear me back on R&T's Catering, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure if you missed any of it, tune back in. Fellas, I got a special guest coming in the lab next week. You guys know who they are?
Who is it?
You got to tune in and see. So make sure that you... Yeah.
You was a great host, but that joke was corny.
They mad because they don't know who the next guest is. When you find out who the next guest is, you're gonna be shocked too, because you just might know him.
I hope your food gets cold.
Wow, this is some hating right now. This is okay. So I get we're gonna delete this whole episode. No, seriously. All jokes aside, I do appreciate you guys donating your time. Coming into the lab, and I do appreciate it that you found it not robbery. We did talk about how time is a commodity. Once it's gone, it's gone. But we had fun. We got a lot of important information. I do have a gift for both of you, and I'll make sure I get that to you in a timely manner because once you donate your time, I feel like I owe you. I have to donate something to you, so I'm gonna make sure I get that to you as well. Especially since I'm gonna be stealing one of your phrases relatively soon too. So maybe that'll be the monetary effect that you guys were looking for.
That's all right.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys. You guys any last comments before we close?
Is there any questions that we have that you want to ask us?
There's a question up here right now. How's it going?
Great, brother. How's it going for you?
And great show. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was a great interview.
Hey, Mom.
Thank you very much. You guys tune in and make sure, don't forget, like I said off camera, I'll get that picture and we'll have that outgoing flyer ready for tomorrow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys, boys and girls. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's Coach Clee. You guys are in the lab. It is your content creator, your book publisher, your favorite baker's favorite baker, podcast host of March 4th. You guys have a wonderful night. Money dance on you guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Love you.
All right now.